Hello. Right, enough waffling. Right, first tip, just an eating and drinking competition. Just drinking plenty. So yeah, definitely know where you're going. Hello, and welcome to probably the first ever training tip video I think I've ever done. I might have put one up before without realising it, but I think this is the first one. This is basically how to train for an ultra marathon, but I'm specifically gonna do how to train for SVP, which is a local one, but you could quite easily move the advice to the ultra marathon you're thinking of and go for the same sort of spec. If, well, it all makes sense in a bit anyway. I'll carry on chatting for a bit. Right, basically I've raced it twice. Worst result I've had is second. Best result I've had is first. Knocked 18 minutes off it from the previous year, and only two of us have ever broken 4 hours on the course. So obviously I've got the hang of running that particular course, and I'll take you through why I think it worked for me. So anyway, I'll take you through a few sort of tips that hopefully will help either racing or just getting through it, depending sort of what level and what you're aiming for. Obviously we all do the same route, and if you're out there for 9 or 10 hours or you're out there for 3 hours, you're still working hard and putting effort in, so just getting out there is the main thing. So anyway, right, enough waffling. Right, first tip, when you're training for an event like this, what I tend to do, because I can't run the course all the time, is I go and find a course that's similar, with ups and downs, twists, turns. Like there's sets of steps in a race that you have to go up and down, there's gates you have to open and close. It's quite rolling terrain. It's not particularly technical. It's sort of, it is flowing up and down hills. So although I obviously wasn't running on the course every single week, I had a course that I could do literally from my doorstep, that involved opening and closing gates, running up and down sort of quite steep flowing hills, and a few sets of steps in there at the same time. So it basically made me feel like I'd been running a course week after week after week, even though I hadn't. The other tip I would say to add on to that one would be that the course that I found was probably slightly more difficult than actually the course that I was racing on. So when it was race done, I knew I'd be on it for about 4 hours. I knew, yeah, I had it within me, just to sort of hang in there and sort of, yeah, there was nothing that was gonna mentally sort of disappoint me. And yeah, so anyway, next tip, walking. Like I'd say I done well again this year, or last year shall I say, and I walked on numerous occasions. I got dirt in my shoes, so I stopped to clear it out. I ended up doing my shoelaces up twice during the last event. Like, don't think if there's a massive great hill you need to try and run up at all costs. You definitely don't. You'll lose more time by pushing yourself too hard earlier on. I think the last 10k in the race I did was actually the quickest 10k I run, although the train was easy as well. But not pushing it too hard earlier on, and being prepared to walk up hills so you don't push your heart rate too high instantly is exactly what you need to do, if you want to do well. Unless you're absolute elite, then maybe you could not walk up the hills, but if the hills get really steep, even the top of the elites will end up walking. So anyway, moving on to the next one, food and hydration. Firstly, me personally, I will stay as hydrated as I can about 7 to 14 days before the race. It won't be 24 hours before the race. It will be drinking electrolytes rather than water, so I don't flush it out my body, and a lot of them. And in terms of food and drink, like the first year I messed it up completely. I didn't drink enough and I didn't eat enough. So for me, the first half of the race was literally just an eating and drinking competition. Just drinking plenty, eating plenty, making sure I had plenty left. So I knew at the end I didn't even need to stop at the last aid station. I was absolutely fine, and then I just kicked on. So yeah, eat and drink early. If you start feeling thirsty and you start feeling hungry, it's already gone wrong. All right, so even like if you don't feel like it, get something down, especially drink, because if you don't feel like it and you don't get anything down, it's going to feel worse and worse the longer you go. So next tip: 1, start hydrating early. 2, consider hydration your most important part during the start of your race. Right. Next tip: know where you're going. Obviously, I messed it up the year before. I'll probably end up messing it up again because I do tend to just switch off when I'm running. I just get lost and forget where I'm going and just enjoy it. So I always have to try and concentrate as much as I can. So next tip is do the route if you can. If you can't do the route, download a file on your watch. There is a file available. Find a friend that already knows the route that you can possibly run with as well. That's another good possibility. There is some tapes and some other things en route. There's a few little bits where people do occasionally get lost on, but there is some markers. But you ideally, the more time you do spend on the course, if you get a chance, and getting a decent watch with a GPX file that you can follow is a very good idea. I didn't have that. I'd done the route quite a few times now, so I sort of know where I'm going, but I'm not guaranteeing I won't get lost again. So yeah, definitely know where you're going. So I think that's probably for me all the main tips I would say, sort of covering food and drink. And then I would move on to sort of standard ones. We're going to clothes. One, again, everyone says it, nothing new on race day. Make sure you put sort of your clothes on. You train for decent mileage wearing those clothes. Check you're happy with it. Check the chafing. If you need to get some sort of Vaseline or Body Glide stuff to put on where it normally sort of chafes, then put some on. If in doubt, put some on anyway. If you're going to change like a pair of socks on race day, or you got a new pair of socks, buy an exact copy of a pair of socks you've been running in. I normally buy a brand new pair of Belega ones, but I always wear the same ones, so I will swap those out on race day. But I would say that's probably about the only thing I change. So yeah, just make sure you've got something that fits, comfortable, doesn't chafe, because you're not going to have a fun time by the end if it does. And obviously your shoes are the most important thing. Don't put a brand new pair of shoes on race day. Get a few miles into them, check you're happy in them, that you like them, that they're comfortable. So yeah, I would strongly recommend, yeah, nothing new on race day. Yeah, and that's it, I think, for my tips. What I would say is the next thing, because there's an awful lot of ultra runners out there, and hopefully there's a few watching the video, they might have some really good tips that they could put in the comment section. So I'll keep the video nice and short. I think anyone who's got a tip, even if they think it's not worth putting in, I think it probably is. There's a huge ultra running community out there. It'd be nice if a few of you watched the video and could put what worked for you, what didn't work for you, yeah, please let me know, because there might be a few tips that might help me one day. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching the video. I won't take up any more of your time. Hopefully everyone's having a good day, and I'll hopefully see you in another video soon. Thank you. Bye.